really had my back as a coach, so I've been focusing more on the gameplay. But I'll get into all 5 players a little bit when we get a break in between the series. But it's 1-to-1 maps, Rise versus UIU, and here we are, Asylum. The first initial is underway, and it looks like Rise is going to come out with a base setup.
Yep, they're going to be coming out nice and strong. That's what we want to see from them. UIU, though, already looking to apply that pressure forward. Enzym, though, will take Minto out from the side. We discussed him as obviously he's going to be one of your initial fraggers, so the fact that Enzym takes him down is going to put a thorn into the side of UIU off this push. I got to say, Rise doing a great job cleaning up on tracks. UIU now trying to fight it out in Pavilion. But once again, good teamwork coming through, and it's going to be Rise on top once again, and that's going to force Exposed to potentially just set up on streets, right? Potentially push over for the overextension, but another battle's taking place down low between Kenny and Icy, and he's going to get taken down. So for all intents and purposes, man, this initial has been all Rise.
That initial damage on Kenny from the bench side over to the middle side was absolutely phenomenal from Rise. Rise doing a really good job of displaying what initial damage literally means, which means lancering people, getting them weak, opening opportunities up for your teammates so they don't have to take as many one-on-ones by themselves, right? So Rise, a huge lead, 120-72, right? A setup already, initial damage already, 1 setup already held, and initial damage already won. Let's see how it plays out. Powers, and it looks like, Powers and I can't see who that's praised. They have to push this B hill right now. They're going to be getting some support from their teammates. Let's see if they can get the break and turn this round around.
Well, App's going to have to try. They're down a considerable amount of points, about 60, almost getting onto 70, and Praised is wanting to get on a Bravo, but he knows Enzym and Icy is going to put on that Lancer fire, but finally does come forward. And Icy and Enzym, they can't push in. They know that UIU is doing a great job lancering down. Praise gets dropped, but still, Rice doesn't find a position to push in. Let's say that, though, Icy will at least try to attempt to do so. You notice, though, UIU does have that win condition, so Rice getting this break onto B is going to be hugely critical, and they're doing so as the train is going to be pushing in, and a nice kill for Icy on the Powers.
Yeah. UIU did a really good job with the retake, right? But the thing is Rise, their plan was, okay, you can have the retake, but we're going to get initial damage to close these kills out. If UIU clutches right there, they have a very strong chance of going to an extended setup and getting the round. But the initial damage from Rise at this moment in this round is just way too strong. They're able to get a huge lead, and they're most likely going to be able to close this out. UIU has to break up both hills, and they've got less than 10 seconds to do it.
Kenny trying to get anything started onto Vexi's. Break on Bravo's going to take place. Tries to rotate onto A. Not going to happen. Shut down 1 by 1, and UIU will suffer their first round loss. 2 minutes, 51 seconds, a decently long round, but I got to say, Rise in control pretty much the entirety of that game. They maintained the point lead, and UIU just couldn't get anything started. What can they do differently the next round?
For UIU, it's really going to just come down to the initial. Then UIU is going to need to hold their base setups just as well, right? So we talked about how in the beginning that Rise was going to need to hold base setups, and so was UIU to be able to win this match. Rise, in my opinion, they held 3 base setups right there. They did a great job. They held the first one. The second one, even though UIU did a great job decapping the hill, they made sure that they were able to get the initial damage and retake it right away, so UIU couldn't fortify that full base setup comfortably. Praise got killed a tomb right away and angled down and already on his 3rd down. So let's see how it goes.
Absolutely going to see how it goes as they're off to the break once again. Icy trying to push up, but forced back. Is UIU now taking more of an opportunity to push up onto tracks, but they've got to watch out for Enzym. Once again, he was a major key factor in shutting them down last time, but Powers doing a great job challenging him, takes him down, now in control of Pavilion, and that forces Rise out of position. And now onto Bravo is UIU, a much better initial, much different right than the last round.
Yep, and here we go. Base setup for UIU. Just like I said, it's almost like they can hear me in their comms at this point. they do a great job. They get the initial win. They're able to get the base setup. But here comes Rise. A lot of people from Rise over on the home hill right now. Avexi's in a crucial situation. He's got a teammate coming in for the revive. It's a double revive, a 2v1 situation. Can they get the kill? And here comes Rise springing into action. Avexi's with a huge kill right there, and also an ability to get his teammate up. Great job by Rise right there. Now they have 2 hills. They have a home hill setup. They're going to use that to rotate over to a base setup most likely as UIU retakes their home hill. That's that base setup that UIU needs right there, and that's the opportunity Rise was hoping for, and now Rise has the base setup.
100%, and now they're going to be putting that defense to use as Praise does get 1 drop. He at least pushes 1 step forward. Rise now backing up. This next series of defensive pushes is going to be incredibly critical for Rise to lock it in as the train does push in. This usually is going to be where the action will take place. It's going to be a back train, though. Not as beneficial as a double or the front train. At the end of the day, though, Rise, they're happy with this, right? They can stay at a standstill for as long as they want, but UYU, they know they need to put the fortune in their favor. But Rushies, though, is going to get a clean kill onto Praise.
Yep, Praise is going to go down right away once again. Great initial damage. I believe that's Fran who's getting the angle over from Snow. He's getting a great angle over there, and he's able to help out his teammates, and that opens up the opportunity for Rise. Now Rise has multiple kills. They could probably try to pressure to an extended setup. Icy doing a fantastic job containing his side of the map. He's able to get one kill. He's got his pistol out, trying to get another if possible. Powers is definitely weak, probably 40 to 60, 40% of his health left, but he gets an accidental misroll, and that is exactly what you want if you're Rise. Here comes Explosive springing into action. He's on the home hill. He gets one kill. Maybe he's going to drop the meat shield and go for a kill. No, he gets flanked. But here come the possible kills. And Explosive stalling and getting that important kill is going to give UYU one more chance at this round. But the question is, are they going to spawn in? Are they going to spawn in this round when there is such a big deficit? They got very little time to work with. They need that B cap very soon if they want to win.
It looks like they're getting it. They are absolutely getting it, but still, Rise so close to victory. Oh, yeah, I mean, it might be a big cost. If Insum can pick up a couple of them, well, at least gets one of them. But still, though, UYU off to the races. Rise, they are now parking the bus, if you will. This is going to be a huge defensive setup on their part, but UYU has been known to break these final defensive setups. If they can do so, they are going to take the round by the skin of their teeth. But Rushies will take Kitty down. Another one onto the outside, trying to get the break. That's Mental. Rushies pushes in, can't get it. Insum now going in franchise, able to pick up one, and he gets the second, and the last one is going to be on the outside. He gets hit with the brick, and it's going to be Rise holding on to get the second victory.
It's really impressive, right? Two things that are really impressive, right? Let's talk about UYU first. UYU right there, realistically, you shouldn't even be in a position to be able to get that extended setup opportunity, right? And they do a good job. Really, the kill that ends up got there is probably the reason that UYU loses the round, because UYU needed that extra man to be able to push over and get that extended setup, right? So they lose one player. Inzem goes off at the B side on the wide cover, and then on the hold, right? Fall back setup from Rise. Beautiful positioning by Rushies. Fran going off with two absolutely incredible kills, and just amazing job. Amazing job right there by Rise. Beautiful fallback setup, beautiful base setups. Everything I was talking about, they are just doing such a great job right now, and it's really incredible to see. A 2-0 lead, not easy to do.
No, not easy at all, right? And I mean, you got to be thinking the momentum in their favor, and they are playing so incredibly well. You look at their respawns, everyone at 4 or 3 out of 4. UYU just a little bit lower. Is Insum now going for that nice play? Powers goes down. Now he is on the back foot of all the rest of the UYU players. Kenny will also drop himself. Hold up a second, Fatal Strike. Rise is on a different level.
Insem is not having it today. He's had enough. He takes the 50-50 and catches an opponent off guard. He doesn't get the kill in the first chunk, but he doesn't care. He's still trying to go up. Rushies on the extension. Rise, really smart play by Rise, though. Rise doesn't get too greedy here. They know they're up 2-0. They know they have the lead. They know they have the base setup. And they say, you know what? We're just going to fall back. We're going to keep our base setup. We're going to get that initial damage you hate so much, UYU, and we're going to hit you with it again. And here we go. UYU going to have to be a little bit creative because their retake the same way it's been every time. They've been getting lit up and dying on the B hill.
What a fantastic series of events as you look at that point lead. Obviously, Rise in the driver's seat, but UYU just as quickly is answering back. Again, though, I referenced to the respawn economy, and I got a couple that I am worried about. We'll keep our eyes on that. That's going to be one is going to be Explosive, but look at Mental. My goodness, the man picks up 2 Rushies. Apexies will fall. Yep. Franchise now will continue to fight it out against 2. Pushes in headstrong, not successful. Icy also falls, and now it's looking like UYU might be turning this round in their favor. I think that's going to be the triple cap. One does get a break, though, onto the home hill, but Mental cleans him up.
Yeah, I mean, you just got to really just showcase the talent of both of these teams, right? Like, look at UYU right there. I call them out. I said they've been doing the same thing every time when they do the retake. They change up the retake slightly. They're able to get to an extended setup situation. Now they're applying the pressure to Rise. Rise desperately trying to stay alive in this round, and they might not be able to do so. So Rise, they did the right thing, like, mathematically, right? The right thing to do is not go for the extended setup, go for the base setup. But that initial damage I was talking about at B, right? They don't get that same initial damage they were getting on Praised every time. Explosive learned his lesson. He took that retake just a little bit different. He up 8 a couple times. He pushed the ride cover one time. He came back to the hill and then stayed on the hill. And that's the reason he's able to stay alive, right? So that initial damage that Rise is depending on from the snow angle isn't able to be used. So now UYU is able to get that retake. They're able to get the situation where they want the extended setup. And once again, they use their offense to spring them into action and take over the Rise setup. And then all of a sudden, Rise is on the back foot and they can't be able to hold their home hill. But it's still a 2-1 lead in favor of Rise. And now it gets interesting, folks. That is an interesting play from Fran and the members over on Rise. They choose to put the drop shot in the middle of the map to change up the fight. Now the initial and the base setup isn't going to be as important because now the fight for drop shot is absolutely crucial to hold your setups.
It's going to be a potential bloodbath. Look at Insum from the flank. Comes in, takes out 3 players. The drop shot in Power's hands will take Rushies out. Kenny gets out with his life. But what a play for Insum. He continues to make big plays. And this initial is looking fantastic for Rise. They picked up 3 players. One comes off the respawn. Even though Powers gets that drop shot, it didn't matter. He got 1 shot off. But at the end of the day, Rise, what an initial.
Yeah, what an initial. Great call probably from Franchise and the members over at Rise. Their Slayers really stepping it up. Rushies, Avexis, Inzem all starting to step it up. Rushies got to worry about his respawn economy a little bit, but he's smart. He knows that. Praised also has to worry about his respawn economy as well. Both teams going to target each of these players, trying to force them to their last respawn. UYU working on the retake. Rise doesn't have the angle from Snow at the moment, so they have to focus on the other side of the map because they're getting pushed to 2 angles at once. And here we go. UYU has the base setup, but they're down by a little bit of time, and Rise is about to spring into action and show us what their retakes look like.
Icy now backing up. Utility's been thrown. Avexis, though, at the forefront. Gets taken out himself. Now Icy, a lot of pressure on him. He goes down as well. And UYU doing UYU things now, applying that pressure, forcing Rise back. But you notice Rise made a good call. They push up forward. That's Inzem once again making those plays happen. Rushies finishes off Kenny. Now Inzem sees an opportunity, rotates down. He's going to be onto the back of Powers. If he gets his kill, that's massive. Picks up 1, gets shot from the second, but at least it's going to be Praised backing up. But Rise, another door opens up. They've got Alpha and Charlie.
Yep, they got Alpha and Charlie. Some really nice resets and push and pull from UYU, though, to stay alive. Inzem definitely thought a teammate probably was with him right there. That's why he turned around. He was like, yo, where's my guy? Like, he was looking to see where his teammate was. He was probably assuming that he was going to get a revive. But here comes Avexi. He goes, don't worry, Inzem, I'll avenge you. He gets a kill on Praise. Rushy springs into action, getting a kill on Mental. Rushy's, keep in mind, he's still on 1 respawn, Taylor. That's 2 times now. He could have been killed and pushed to his last respawn. But instead, Rise going to be able to get Praise pushed to his last respawn. And now the advantage goes to Rise. Rise has 2 people on last respawn of UYU. Mental also on last respawn. Rise is using the hills and using the base setup to limit the options of UYU. And it's honestly beautiful to see.
It absolutely is. And you notice Rise able to take that point lead for the first time this game. And now not only that, Rushies also has the drop shot. And he knows UYU is going to be applying that pressure, threading the nail. It's explosive. That's a fantastic shot. Praised also out of position now. He's going to get dropped himself. And Kenny knows he's all by himself. He can't challenge without the cavalry behind him. And Rise is going to maintain Bravo and also be able to apply that pressure forward.
Yep, and Praise is already out of the game. What a fantastic drop shot from Rushies. Both of his drops, making sure his team has the advantage. I gotta say, Taylor, this Rise I'm seeing right now, it is very, very impressive. They are doing a fantastic job of using the power weapons, using the hills to get the kills without using, 50-50 microspacing. They're making sure their microspacing is 60-40s, 70-30s. Really good odds for them, and they're completely closing this out right now, and it's going to be a 3-1 lead for Rise. If you're UYU, this is do or die, because you don't want to lose if you're UYU. You just took a loss during the weekend. You definitely don't want to lose this UMG. You don't want your opponents gaining confidence going into the last matches of the weekend. Now, it's possible that UYU might be holding a little bit of their punches and saving it for the major. It's definitely possible, but realistically speaking, I know those guys don't like to lose, and I know that they're really hungry to win. So let's see what they do right here when they're down 3-1 to a really impressive Rise.
And let me ask you this. And you don't have to answer, but UYU lost to Hive, right?
Yeah.
Now, if they do lose to Rise, what mental state is that going to put UYU in? Because obviously they're champions. They don't like losing, but losing like that 2 weeks in a row, not once again, not being in grand finals, that has to sting.
I mean, I think it's just as simple as one word, right? Unacceptable. I think those guys are champions, and that's what they were chalking up to. Be better, unacceptable, watch the VOD. we can't lose. You can't be losing like this. So we're going to see them play a little angry right now. We're going to see them play a little bit more aggressive and try to apply a little bit of extra pressure. But when you're Rise, that's kind of what you want, right? You kind of want them to be a little bit more aggressive. You want those extra opportunities for initial damage. And even though Icy misses a couple Boltox right there, it doesn't even matter because this team is in absolute control. They have the drop shot. They have the kills. They have the hills. Now they could use the drop to pressure, but they're getting pushed, so they're going to stay alive. And this is a good example of push and pull. Look at Icy. He stays alive. He plays the wide angle on tracks. One person is pushing him. He knows he's not going to get 2v1. He stays alive. Here comes the drop shot over on Mental. Mental very aware, able to stay alive. Avexes and Inzem, here they go. The superstars from Rise spring into action once again, getting control of the F hill, and here comes the pressure. Can they get the kills though? Because they need them, and they need them right now. They got to get on this hill. They can't transition back to a base setup because they're going to get pushed heavily if they do so. So here we go. Avexes with the drop shot, staying alive. Doing a great job with his movement to stay alive right there. Does not get caught off guard by Powers, and doing a fantastic job of showing us why he is a versatile super slayer and also has great mechanical movement. And there goes Rise, closing out the round. Absolutely impeccable. Impeccable. A great job with the extended setup. Beautiful push and pull. Everything you want to see from Rise right there is absolutely fantastic. And you have to credit to everyone on the team, everyone on the coaching staff, the analysts, the coaching, everybody doing what they need to do over there to make sure they're in position to close out when they have the opportunities of having the lead.
If you're just joining us, District ended with Rise getting the victory over UYU with a 5-2 victory. We are now looking at map 3. This is for UYU's tournament life. Once again, they might exit in semifinals. Rise, for the third week in a row, might solidify a spot in the grand finals. They've been so close to getting a victory in E-Days after the Sprinkler Online Major, more importantly with this new roster, but they've always fell short. But they are looking to make some good plays, and right now they are on the verge of potentially taking over this victory 2-0. And I want to point out, or excuse me, 2-1. I want to point out, this is the second time in the past 3 weeks that Rise and UYU have met up against each other, and it has always been Rise taking the victory over UYU.
Absolutely incredible. Icy doing a fantastic job on the track side, applying pressure at the right times, making sure he's closing out those very important kills. Even though he up 8, it wasn't even a 50-50, it's a 70-30 easily because the guy's not even looking at him. And it looks like, honestly, Rise in position to be able to close us out. They've got the initial win, right? They're already trying to secure the base setup. They haven't secured it just yet. Here comes the opportunity for the kills. Inzem once again winning 1v1s, winning crucial fights, stepping up for his team when they need him most. And Fran's going to go down though, and so is Inzem. And just like that, a couple 50-50s that UYU needs. And now UYU is somehow coming on top with the base setup. So most likely we're going to see a home push come out of Rise, or we're going to see an E push right away. Most likely we will not see Rise push every lane at once right here because they don't want to lose too many lives and give UYU a chance. You're probably going to see them push one or only 2 lanes at the same time, and we'll see how it plays out. But UYU, that's really good rotations right there, and I got to give some credit to Explosive because honestly, in all the years I've seen this guy play, he has been a master when it comes to rotations and calling out the communication that's needed to make sure that you have the pace in these situations. And the pace that I spoke about with UYU came to play to get the base set up. But once again, Rise answering back right away. Here goes UYU trying to defend themselves, and Rise has control of the home hill, just like I spoke about, you know? The Rise letting him know a little bit too right there. So here we go. Here comes the pressure, limiting the options of the E-Hill. This is exactly where you want to be if you're Rise. Here's the opportunity to close it out, and this is what I'm talking about. Only pressuring 1 or 2 lanes at a time, containing the other lane right at the end, and that is what you are supposed to do to limit the options of UYU. Fantastic effort and execution and strategy coming out from Rise. Beautiful job. I think that's the best performance we've ever seen by Rise in an Emergence Days versus